2 massive jackpots one weekend and a chance for someone in Western Massachusetts to become a billionaire.
Western Mass News reporter Matt Price spoke to some lottery players in Chicopee who are feeling lucky and have big plans if they win all that dough.
All it takes is one ticket. That's it.
Springfield's Darren Poole says it best. Powerball and Mega Millions put millions of dollars on the line every week. But this weekend, we're seeing something not normally seen. Both lottery games, each having an estimated jackpot of at least $600 million. And in Western Mass, the excitement is building fast.
I walked in a couple days ago and said the same thing. I'm going to win both, so I played both of them. Didn't happen yet, but we'll see what happens.
Shoppers streamed into the Pride gas station and market on Montgomery Street in Chicopee, each hoping to grab a winning ticket. Right now, the Powerball jackpot is at an estimated $600 million. Mega Millions, on the other hand, stands at $743 million. That means if one person were to win both games, they could walk away a billionaire. Chicopee's Donna Reno told Western Mass News she only plays the lottery when the stakes are high. She bought tickets for both games and is changing her strategy.
This time I did a quick pick, but most of the time I pick my grandchildren's birthdays.
Both Powerball and Mega Millions have not had simultaneous $500 million jackpots since March of 2024. Also, this particular Pride station is home to a winning Powerball ticket that won one woman $758.7 million in August of 2017. Reno is optimistic and is already planning how she would spend the winnings.
Oh, I'd help my family, get them set, my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and of course myself, take a cruise, you know.
Where would you like to take a cruise to?
Alaska.
The next Mega Millions drawing is scheduled for Friday at 11 p.m., while Powerball will be just before 11 o'clock Saturday night. So good luck, Western Mass. In Chicopee, Matt Price, Western Mass News.